Hey guys, TechFi, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Roccat Burst Pro. For just $60 or £50, it looks really cool and it's got some really impressive features, which we're going to take a look at. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, but obviously you got to watch it first. So guys, let's get into this. Obviously, in the box, you obviously get the mouse itself, your little manual and booklet as you'd expect, and then some replacement feet, which I do really appreciate. And obviously, I'll be talking about the feet in just a second. First of all, for the shape of the mouse, it's semi-ambidextrous, and it's just 120mm long, 58mm wide, and 38.7mm high, which makes it fairly small but not absolutely tiny. And the shape kind of reminds me of a slightly shorter XM1, but maybe that's just me. What this shape means though is it's not great for palm grip. Maybe if you have really small hands you can get away with it, but personally with my hands, which are 17cm by 8.5cm, I couldn't get comfy palm in this mouse at all, and I don't think a lot of people will be able to. It's not really what this mouse is made for. For claw grip though, I think it's brilliant. Maybe once again, due to it just being fairly small, if you have really big hands, it may not be for you, but whether you're an aggressive or relaxed claw, I think you'll be able to get really comfortable with it. It fit comfortably into the way I normally claw my mouse, and I even found myself questioning whether the shape which I thought was perfect for me, the XM1, was actually beaten by this, as I was performing really well and really enjoyed the experience when gaming with this. For fingertip grip, I think the shape of this mouse is also brilliant. I don't think anybody will have an issue with it. Its small shape and being semi-ambidextrous really works for fingertip grip, in addition to the low weight of just 68 grams. I don't know if I'd go as far as Roccat and call it extreme lightweight. There are a lot of much lighter weight mice, but either way, it still felt very agile and very light, and 68 grams is a pretty ideal weight for me. I really did like that. The low weight is also quite cool that they have a honeycomb design like other mice, but then they have this translucent cover over the top, which does make it look quite cool. And leaning on from that, the build quality overall is very good. It feels very solid, there's no flex really anywhere, nothing more than you'd expect, and nothing, like, it's not going to break like the glorious Model D- or anything like that, so I was very impressed with the build quality. I can activate the side buttons by squeezing the side if I press really hard, but nothing I can do in a normal mouse grip. I can't possibly do it like that with my little finger or even two fingers on the other side, and therefore it's going to be something you don't have an issue with in games. And once again, build quality very solid, well done Roccat. The sensor is based on the PMW3389, which is a brilliant sensor. It's the same one used in the XM1, which is a more expensive mouse, so I think it's quite a compliment to Roccat that I'm making that comparison with it here. It has a maximum DPI of 16,000 and 1000Hz polling rate. It was very nice to use, felt very accurate, precise and responsive, and in games it performed really well. What added to this was the really low lift-off distance of just 3 playing cards, which is very impressive and a very low lift-off distance, so I definitely had no issues with curse jiggle or anything like that. One thing I did notice almost straight away when gaming with this mouse is it did make my hands feel quite sweaty. I then took my hand and put it on a different mouse and then put it back, and they did feel noticeably sweatier on the Roccat Burst Pro. So whatever material and coating it's made of does make it feel like that. It wasn't really an issue for me, I soon got used to it and ignored it, but it is just something that I observed while testing this mouse. I thought the feet were very good for included feet, especially on a mouse that was just $60. The heat treated PTFE or whatever they're on about, it works really well, and I thought it glided very nicely. I felt very in control, and I was a big fan of the feet on the Roccat Burst Pro. The cable was also pretty good as far as included cables go. It was nice and flexible, and I didn't really have any issues when using it. I'd put it somewhere between the Razer SpeedFlex cable on the Razer Viper Mini and the XM1 RGB. It reminded me a lot of the cable on the glorious Model D-. Roccat's claim about this cable, and I'm going to have to read my laptop for this, bear with me, is Phantom Flex cable. Enjoy a near wireless experience with the Phantom Flex cable. Flexible, pliable and light. It virtually disappears during the use to the point you won't even know it's there, and there is no need for a mouse bungee. I do think that's a bit far-fetched. Near wireless experience, it's a decent cable, but Roccat, I think that might be a bit far, but maybe that's just me. The primary mouse clicks use Roccat's Titan optical switches, rated at a huge 100 million clicks. I personally preferred these to the optical switches in the Razer Viper Mini, which were very good anyway. These just felt really snappy, responsive and nice to use, and overall I was a big fan of the primary mouse clicks on the Roccat Burst Pro. Here's a sound test for those of you who are interested of the left click and of the right click. The side buttons I personally really liked. They gave some nice tactile feedback, and the shape and size of them just work with the way I use side buttons. So if you're someone who uses side buttons, you're going to get good ones on the Roccat Burst Pro. If you're interested, here's a sound test of the front one and the rear one. The scroll wheel I wasn't too sure about at first, and still personally I don't think I individually like the overall feel of it. I can't exactly explain why I have that opinion though, and performance wise it's absolutely brilliant. I never double scrolled or anything like that, and the click is fairly satisfying. You can also control the scroll speed and a few other settings to do with it in the software, which means you can customise it to the way you like anyway. Here's a sound test of the scroll wheel scrolling and clicking. I think the lighting looks really cool. The RGB lighting is very vibrant and colourful, and I really like the cool design with the honeycomb and then the translucent cover. It's very unique, creates a very unique pattern, and I was actually quite a big fan of it. That with the really bright light up scroll wheel, I just think it was quite cool overall. You also get a decent amount of customization and different modes in the software, which is certainly a nice thing to have. Roccat software was pretty simple to use. I had no trouble finding things I wanted, and you also got a ton of customization, everything from different pointer speeds, your DPI, your buttons, changing the scroll speed, and even increasing the lift off distance. So I was very impressed with Roccat software. I personally haven't owned any of their products before, so it's the first time I was using it, and I was overall very impressed. Overall, I was surprised by how good this mouse was for $60. The Roccat Burst Pro has done a great job. I really enjoyed the shape, and just to round that up again, if you're a claw or fingertip user and your hands aren't massive, then this shape should be great for you. If you're a palm user, maybe if you've got really small hands, but to be honest, don't buy this mouse. It had very good cable, feet and sensors straight out the box. The PMW3389 is a great sensor, and it's the same one used in the XM1 RGB. I've compared it a lot to the XM1 in this video, which I think is quite a compliment since the XM1 is a bit more and regarded as a more premium mouse. At least that's how I see it. So I will have a comparison between those two mice soon, but overall I think the Roccat Burst Pro is very good, and I was very impressed with my first experience having a Roccat product. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please leave a like and even consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to look as cool as me, and I know you do, you can get yourself some merch at techify.co.uk/merch. For your next video, I suggest, since I've talked about it so much, you go watch my review of the XM1 RGB. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.